It's been a really quiet time for Euro US dollar in recent months, but I don't think this is going to carry on. So in this video, we're going to take a look at the big levels to keep an eye on. Hello, I'm David Jones from Capital.com, and I thought it was time for a catch-up on the most popular traded foreign exchange pair, Euro US dollar. In recent months, we have seen volatility really drop off for the euro. You know, it's normally a pretty active market, but we haven't seen that over the last 3 to 4 months or so. So I thought, well, let's take a look at the euro in a bit more depth, because there's a really big level to watch, I think, in the weeks ahead that could determine the direction of the euro against the dollar for the rest of this year. So let's catch up first of all. We'll take a look at the movements over the last 12 months. Then we'll look at the charts in a bit more depth and see where the opportunities may be for Euro US dollar in the months to come. Let's take a look at the numbers for Euro US dollar. So over the last 12 months to the middle of February 2019, the price has dropped just over 9%. So over the last 12 months, we have seen US dollar strength, euro weakness. We've seen the euro slide. But what's interesting is what's happened more recently. Over the last 6 months, the euro today is trading pretty much where it was towards the summer, the end of the summer in 2018. And over the last 3 months, it's still the same. So you can see that the volatility for euro US dollar, and we'll see this in a second when we look at the charts, has really dried up in recent months. But let's look at, what caused the slide last year was this US dollar strength. So it is lower than it was a year ago. And we saw a real comeback by the dollar against a host of currencies from April 2018. So as the US dollar strengthened into the summer, the likes of the euro, the pound, all that sort of stuff slid. Okay, so that was really, I think, the big story for euro US dollar last year. But we also have, of course, ongoing Brexit discussions. That affects the European economy as well as the UK economy. So that, I don't think, has really helped the euro performance. The fact that, we still really don't know what Brexit is going to look like this near to the deadline. And then we have had in recent months a slowdown in the European economy. We've seen the Italian economy go into recession for the third time in a decade, and the German economy narrowly avoiding going into recession. Last quarter growth was 0%. So again, we are seeing continental European economies slowing down. So that clearly is hindering the euro. But let's catch up. Let's look at the charts. We'll look at the last year, and let's look at the levels we should be watching from a medium to longer term view in the months ahead. So here's our big picture chart for Euro US dollar. This chart, I've zoomed in up until the end of April 2018, just to catch that massive recovery we saw for the euro in 2017. So it came into 2017 trading just above 1, really. 1 euro was worth 1 US dollar, vice versa. So about 104 was where the market was. And we saw this great run up, this great trend all the way through 2017. 2017 was a really bad year for the US dollar. Lots of US dollar weakness, saw the euro getting lifted higher. And it traded as high as pretty much 125 by February 2018. Went sideways for a bit, but then we saw sentiment change. This is when the US dollar strength comes back in. So we've moved along to bring things up to date. And you can see here, at the end of April 2018, the euro starts breaking below this old support around about the 122 area, and then starts a slide that eventually sees it trade as low as almost 112 by the middle of November of last year. So it was a big slide. You can see the US dollar strength coming back here. But then this is why we've seen very little change over the last 3 to 6 months for Euro US dollar. You can see just since November how low this volatility is compared to what we had for much of 2018. So it's been a really quiet time for Euro US dollar, but there are some really big levels to watch. Let's just zoom in. So the low for 2018 was set in November. So the middle of November, the market traded almost down to 112. And we had seen a recovery, a reasonable recovery off that level into the beginning of 2019, trading up towards sort of 115 and a half, 116. But look what's happened since then. It's come back to it once again. As recently as the middle of February, we've seen a retest of those old lows. And that's really the big level to watch, I think, in the weeks and the months ahead for Euro US dollar. It's 112. If we're going to see a bounce and a recovery from anywhere, then we'd expect to see that 112 low from November 2018 continue to hold. So maybe we will see Euro US dollar build a base. At the moment, at the time of recording, you can see it did go oversold when it dipped down there in February. So the RSI is backing this up as good support. In recent days, we've seen the MACD give a buy signal off this level. So 112 is really an important level. So what's going to affect it? I think if we saw maybe a bit more progress on Brexit discussions, so we all know maybe what the situation will be after the end of March, that could help sentiment towards the pound and the euro. But for now, at least, the euro is really struggling to hold on to any recovery. So that 112 level is really key. Let's just zoom things out a bit. But on the upside, we've had real barriers in this 115.50 to 116 area. So I think that's the level we need to clear to confirm that a recovery is actually underway. Because you can see since November, there's been plenty of back and forth to this level, 112, 113, but we haven't seen a sustainable recovery. So if we can break out through, at least through these early January highs, just ahead of 116, it does add more weight to the argument that the euro is going to recover. Let's take a look at the downside, because clearly no one's got a crystal ball. We don't know. We need to watch these levels, but we also need a plan in place if we did see 112 break. Let's just step things out. If we saw 112 break, it would put the euro down to its lowest values against the dollar since the early summer of 2017. And I think then we just have to start looking at more aggressive targets on the downside. Maybe below 111, maybe back down to these lows from May 2017, around about the 108 mark. So this 112 line is really, I think, a significant level to watch. So for now, at least, we are seeing buyers continue to come in when Euro US dollar slips back to here. So for now, it's holding, and we can make the argument about a potential recovery, but maybe more cautious traders would want to see a rally through 115 and a half, 116. If 112 breaks, it's a much more bearish outlook for Euro US dollar. And we haven't had an answer to this really either way over the last 3 months. But it seems unlikely this lack of volatility is going to continue for another 3 to 4 months. I think we will get a break either way. For now, 112 is holding. That's the big level to watch. So you can see what a big level 112 is. Since November, it has stopped any further declines in Euro US dollar, but we haven't seen anything like a sustainable recovery. It came back to this level just in recent days. So it really is the big one to watch going forward. While it's above it, it still continues to act as support, and maybe we can break some of those levels on the upside. I think so much is unknown at the moment, particularly when it comes to Brexit. Clearly that's not something that just affects the UK and the pound. It has implications for the European economy as well. We've already seen some of those major European economies start to slow down. So I fully expect volatility for Euro US dollar to start picking up pretty soon. We'll start wrapping things up there as usual. If you have any questions or a different view on the euro for the year, let's have the discussions in the comments down below. I do read them all. If you like the video, click on the thumbs up. It helps us reach a wider audience and continue producing this content. To find out more about the company, go to the website, Capital.com. You can see what markets we cover, open a demo account, open a real account. If you download the app, you can set up an account from there as well. And to never miss out on the content we produce, whether it's looking at foreign exchange markets, gold, oil, cryptocurrencies, how to trade forex, all these different videos we upload during the week. Just make sure you're subscribed by clicking the subscribe button down there, and the alarm bell. If you click on that, you get a push notification every time we put up new content. But for this look at the euro, we will leave things there. So from me, David Jones, and Capital.com, good luck with your trading.